From murky depths, they come wriggling up in search of your blood.
They normally feed on things like frogs or on fishes. There's many more of them.
From the murky depths, they come wriggling up in search of a host.
It will not feed on a turtle. We don't know why. We did test this. It also, for some reason, doesn't like catfish.
From the murky depths,
Leeches are often sitting at the air-water interface near land.
From the murky depths comes a hypothetical question.
Do leeches need a makeover in the public consciousness? Quite possibly, but that's why I'm here.
This is Dr. Mark Siddall, curator of invertebrates at the American Museum of Natural History.
And I'm the leech guy.
Spend an hour with Dr. Siddall, and you'll realize you know nothing about leeches, especially how and what they eat.
There are some leeches that will feed only on amphibians. Others that we can find right out here in Central Park feed on insect larvae. The very large ones, they tend to feed on big things like earthworms. And then others still will feed on snails. They've got a proboscis, a muscular tube that they use to penetrate into a snail and suck the juices out.
Actually, they can be quite picky.
Placobdella parasitica will feed on just about any turtle. Placobdelloides jaegerskioldi, as far as we know, feeds exclusively from the rectal tissue of hippopotamus.
Judge them all you want, but there's probably not a lot of competition for that blood meal, which is a little surprising because
Blood is nutritious, it's full of protein, it's full of iron.
And not every parasite is able to consume it.
The danger of drinking blood is that that blood is going to coagulate. And if the blood coagulates inside of you, then you're going to turn into a brick. Of course, if you're a leech and you're a blood feeder, there's no danger of this because you're provided with a bunch of anticoagulants and other compounds.
Take, for example, the North American medicinal leech, Microbdella decora.
It will feed on frogs, it will feed on fish, it will feed on you.
And it will feed on Michael Tesler, a PhD student at the museum.
I study the evolution of anticoagulants in leeches, but if the leeches look hungry, I do feed them. I have no problem bleeding for my work. It doesn't bother me in the least.
Like many other medicinal leeches, Microbdella decora secretes a hirudin.
Hirudin is an antithrombin compound.
And thrombin normally activates fibrin, which works together with your platelets to hold together a clot. So without thrombin, you're gonna bleed. But a hirudin isn't their only poison. The anti-clotting compounds in their spit reads like a greatest hits list. There even appears to be a special Microbdella ingredient.
It has an antiplatelet protein called decorsin, and it looks like other leeches don't seem to have that.
They know this because for years they've been plucking out the salivary tissues of various species of leeches and processing the RNA inside to see what sort of proteins were being produced. And so far, Dr. Siddall has discovered that these cocktails can range in diversity.
Some species of leeches have very similar cocktails. Others that are more distantly related, maybe some of the marine leeches, for example, they've got some of the same molecules and then others that are different.
This makes sense given that our blood is different from turtle blood, which is different from shark's blood. In fact,
Sharks, skates, and rays have huge quantities of urea in their blood. And urea denatures proteins such as anticoagulants.
so what's the secret to drinking shark's blood? Mr. Tesler is still dissecting leeches to find out. But for Dr. Siddall, it won't just be another piece in the puzzle of leech evolution. It will be yet another reason to love leeches.
Because we bleed and because we have this ability to stop ourselves from bleeding, when I show people all the places where leeches have evolved molecules that will stop that from working, people are absolutely fascinated, and I think because of that personal connection with their own blood and clotting abilities.
For Science Friday, I'm Luke Groskin.